The Monday, July 13, 2026 regular meeting of the Paris City Council is hereby called to order at 5:30 p.m. For the purpose of this meeting, there is a quorum of the council present. Agenda item number 2, invocation. Mayor Pro Tem Savage will deliver the invocation, and the City Council will lead the pledge of the United States Pledge of Allegiance and Texas Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise.
Shall we pray? Father God, we just thank you, Lord, for another day that you didn't promise, but you gave it to us anyway, Lord, and you met us with mercy and grace, and we say thank you, Lord. Father, we ask that you bless this council, Lord, as we deliberate the city's business. Help us to make the best decisions that we can, Lord. And Father, as always, would you remember our first responders, Lord, as they work diligent day in and day out, Lord, and bless their families as they return home to comfort them and help them to ease them from their day. And Father, we just ask that you bless this city, this county, and this nation, Lord. And we ask it in the mighty name of Jesus, and we give you all the praise, and it's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right, we will now move on to the Citizens Forum.
Persons desiring to address the council must limit their presentations to no more than 2 minutes, and remarks must be limited to matters of city business. Speakers will not be allowed to cede speaking time to others. Unless an item is posted on the agenda, the Texas Open Meetings Act prohibits the council from responding to any comments other than to refer the matter to a future agenda, to an existing policy, or to a staff person with specific factual information. Claims against the city council members, or employees, including but not limited to claims in pending litigation, as well as individual personal appeals, are not appropriate for Citizens Forum. If necessary, the City Council may convene into executive session under Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code regarding any item on this agenda.
All right. I'll go ahead and open up the floor for the Citizens Forum. I just ask if I can see a show of hands. I think many folks are here for agenda item number, I want to make sure I have the numbering correct, number 9. Is there just a show of hands for agenda item number 9? Okay, is there anyone here willing to speak on anything other than agenda item number 9? Okay, if you want to go ahead and come. We're going to save the public comment for agenda number 9 at the time of agenda number 9, which is going to be here in just a moment anyway, so.
Good evening. How are y'all?
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Please state your name and address for
Richard
the record.
Thompson. I'm all over Texas, or all over Paris. This is a little humor for you guys tonight. You all need some information. There's a local restaurant and bar kind of doing it over on the Loop, and it's all legal. They decided to put a little awning up over their band, keep the band dry when it rains. That's great. Everything's approved, all legal. The thing that's funny is, as you live in Brownwood or across like Paris Lumber and those there apartments and all that, on Friday nights now, you can hear the music in your living room. They built like a horn, like a amphitheater. Nobody saw that coming. You know, it's just kind of funny. No complaints. I thought y'all would get a kick out of that. Have a good evening.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else? Oh, I was just saying, is there anyone else that would like to speak?
That's just you.
Yes, sir.
I got some, regarding some codes about,
Yes, ma'am. If you'll just pull that mic closer. There we go.
okay. I got some concerns about the lots and stuff. Is that the right time to speak?
Yes, ma'am. Would you
Okay.
mind saying your name and address for the record?
Okay, I'm sorry. Name is Carolyn Williams. I live on the southwest part of Paris. And my concern is about vacant lots and tearing down houses. And I want to know what procedures do you have to go through to tear down houses? And because it's one house been 44 years. and they still haven't done anything with that. And I think that is a very, very dangerous situation. And another house, it burnt. And I called about that, and they say they have to wait 20 days before the gas company can come and do something with it, but the house burnt in February. And now that they have done something, they look like they just took everything, not everything, biggest portion of it with a backhoe and just pushed it to the back. That is so tacky. Okay, and another thing about lots. I'm trying to buy lots, but they keep adding fees on it from where they say they didn't mold, and they hadn't done anything. And I want to know how can I go by and who to talk to about that, because the lots are just double high than what it started out to be.
Thank you, Ms. Williams.
Okay.
Is there anyone else? Okay, if not, I'll go ahead and close the citizens forum. We're going to go ahead and move on to the consent agenda. Before we vote on the consent agenda, there is an item that we do need to have a motion to go ahead and remove off the consent agenda. That would be agenda item number 8. If I could hear anyone that would like to state a motion.
Make a motion that we remove item 8 from the consent agenda.
We've got a motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries 5-0. Now we will need a motion to table agenda item number 8. Do I hear a motion?
So move.
Okay, motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries 5-0. Now for the consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are approved by a single action of the council with such approval applicable to all items appearing on the consent agenda. A council member may request any item to be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. Just keep in mind, we did remove agenda item number 8 from the consent agenda, so any motion following this, I just want to make sure that it is with removal of agenda item number 8. Do I hear a motion? Okay, we got a motion. Do I hear a second? Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries 5-0. All right, we will now move on to the regular agenda. Agenda item number 9, discuss, conduct a public hearing and act on an ordinance regarding the petition of James O'Brien, DVM, for a zoning change from a single-family dwelling SF2 district to a general retail GR district to a general retail district with a SUP, special use permit, for veterinary clinic large animals on LCAD 13152, legal description, Mayor Edition, Block 8, Lots 1 and 2, 3147 Bonham Street. Mr. Almamensa?
Thank you, Mayor and council members. So this application has been before you and has been tabled before. And subsequently on May 11th and June 8th, and council voted to reschedule it to be heard on today, July 13th. And so it is the same application before you. On May 11th, the issue that came up was that residents within this neighborhood came against this application. And so some of the issues they cited was concerns with noise, rodents, typical horse flies, and odor or increased traffic. Council decided that they should give it a time for applicant and residents within the neighborhood to hash out their differences and come before you to make a meaningful decision on this application. And that's what is before you today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to go ahead and open up the public hearing and ask for anyone wishing to speak about this item to please come forward.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, fellow citizens. My name is Mark Cloutier. I live with my wife out in Sumner. Dr. O'Brien's rezoning request we're here in strong support of. To understand why this is so critical, you need to know about our two senior mules, Levi and Ralphie. 4 years ago, we rescued these two mules right before they were sent to slaughter. Their past took a severe toll. Ralph has heavy scarring from being overworked and battles ring bone. Levi is fighting cancer, equine metabolic syndrome, and Cushing's disease. They are our senior pasture puppies. They require significant specialized medical attention. Dr. O'Brien has been our lifeline, frequently driving out to our farm to treat them, but current zoning restrictions are failing our community. Because he is legally limited to mobile practice, when our boys need care that can't be done in the pasture, we've actually had to meet Dr. O'Brien in an entirely different clinic. No local business owner should have to borrow another facility just to do their job simply because they lack the zoning to build their own. Paris desperately needs to promote and enable responsible, caring business owners like Dr. O'Brien. Approving this rezoning request is a no-brainer. It creates additional economic opportunities for the city and ensures that large, loving animals like Levi and Ralphie get a second chance at a healthy retirement. Please approve this request. Stifling his practice would be a profound detriment to Paris. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Joyce Faulkner, 215 31st Southwest. This is my neighbor.
We'll do it together.
You want to go first? We are still very much against this, and we did, from the last meeting we attended, you had talked about maybe some of us hadn't talked to him, which he did go around and he had talked to my husband. So we did get a chance to talk to him outside. Things were a little different. So first meeting, one thing was said, second meeting, another thing was said. I think he had told my husband and the other neighbors, because I talked to several neighbors after that meeting, that it would be horses only. But I noticed when he had the meeting in here, he talked about dogs and cats and stuff. And a question was asked about cleaning up at the back of the property. He said he would not. The last owner would be responsible for doing that. And also, we didn't know where the building, he's going to put it on the corner of 31st. Which is going to be as close to you talked about him putting it right next to his home. Well, it's going to be as close to my front door as it is to his, where he's planning on putting it. And I don't know if any of you have driven past there. We drove down 31st today because of all the concrete and stuff. We had to wait for them unloading. It's basically like maybe 2 inches being in the road. The piles of dirt, I don't know if you've seen it, Gary. Well, there's even more there now. There was 2 trucks there when we started up here. And we're very against it because school's going to be starting soon, and that's the drop-off for the school bus. And I don't know if any of you would like this veterinary clinic next to your home, but as residents, we do not. Go ahead. I know you got several things.
Donna Allen, I live on 31st, and that's a big concern. The house is there on 31st. A lot of people that are living there, they have lived there since the houses have been built. A lot of seniors are still there. And when we were here before, we talked about the smell. We talked about what the gentleman said before, and mainly the traffic. And like what she was saying, where the city has brought the concrete in because they're tearing up and making new sidewalks and stuff, and it's on his property, and it's right at the edge. And the way that I understand that he's going to have where you're coming in and out to the veterinary clinic is going to be kind of right in there where on 31st. It's not going to be off of Bottom Street, it's going to be on 31st. And that's a problem. And that needs to be addressed. And I guarantee you, if this was in East Paris, this wouldn't be happening. This wouldn't be happening. Where houses over there, you wouldn't want where you live, that you walk down the street and you've got this veterinary clinic for the horses and stuff. And then if he's going to bring in the small animals with, I mean, now that's, whatever. If he brings in the small animals or what, there is still going to be, there's going to be, I'm assuming, you're going to be having like a trash dump, or, like what are they called?
The big trash containers.
The
what she's talking about.
containers. So you're still going to have a truck come in and take that, and there's still going to be traffic going in and out. And unless that's changed, I'm concerned about that. And I'm concerned about it being cleaned up. And what she's talking about, the backside where it's not being cleaned up right now, there's snakes that come through there. I don't know if he understands it, but we've had the snakes, and it's not being cleaned up. And I don't believe anybody else would want this right in front of their houses because it's close to us. And it's down our street. And if they come, if anybody comes and misses that driveway and has to come down, and they come down all the way 31st to have to turn around, it's a dead-end street. And our street's busy. And I'm concerned about that. And I just don't think it's right. I think it's going to change the value of our property. And that's what I have to say.
Another thing, I did get a chance to ask him, did you buy the property so somebody could not put anything on it? And he said yes. And he also informed us he's got a couple of oil companies wanting to buy the property. So I don't know if he's just saying that. But we're very much against it, and we hope you will take that into consideration.
Thank you.
All righty. Great evening. Thank you, City Council, for allowing me the opportunity to speak on Dr. O'Brien's behalf. My name is Gina Willman. I live at 5940 Pine Mill Road, Reno, Texas. I have horses, and I help feed the horses for Vicki and Steve Foster of Foster's Quarter Horse Ranch. Dr. O'Brien, I have 3 words: determined, dedicated, and deserving. My relationship with Dr. O'Brien started with my 3-year-old mare making a farm call and to pull a Coggins for her for training. Since then, Dr. O'Brien has saved my mare's life twice. Started in January with lameness during the Arctic blast. Most recent, June 4th, with my mare, had complications expelling the placenta after her delivery of her foal, and Dr. O'Brien had to use his skills and expertise and knowledge to quickly use hay bales as makeshift stocks to flush my mare out, to get the placenta out and to make sure that she was okay, and she was in a lot of pain. The treatment continued on for days to where we moved her up to Vicky's house, the Foster's house, and he came and treated her 3 times a day, was just on top of it, even got it a bite on the arm from my mare. I believe an equine veterinary facility in Paris, Texas would be very beneficial and an asset to many large animal owners and to Dr. O'Brien as well. I say that we help Dr. O'Brien fulfill his dream, vision, and passion. Let's keep the elevator going up and not down. Thank you, City Council, and thank you, Dr. O'Brien. May God bless you and the veterinary facility. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, City Council. My name is Julia Trigg Crawford. I live at 690 County Road 37500 in Sumner. And I appreciate the chance to come and speak on behalf of Dr. O'Brien and his request to have rezoning. We need this clinic. We don't have anything like it in the area. I'm a client of his, and Dr. O'Brien has taken care of my horses and donkeys over the years, and there's only so much you can do in the pasture. You really need a facility where you can use higher level care and do the things that need to be done in an enclosed medical situation. Having a clinic would allow him to serve clients, whether they're somebody's pasture pony or a racehorse or someone's cutting horse. So having a clinic would allow horse owners to not have to trailer their horses to Clarksville or Oklahoma, and everybody knows those are critical minutes when a horse is down, sick, colicking. A specialty clinic like Dr. O'Brien's would create jobs. Okay, we got skilled vet tech workers, it would improve real estate, and it would generate numerous economic benefits. Horse owners, when they come to town, they're going to have to fuel up those trucks. They may have to go out to eat while their horse is being treated. They might have to stay in local hotels. So this is a Chamber of Commerce thing, guys. People are going to come to town and their horses are going to be taken care of and they're going to spend money here. 3 years ago, this city council went out to West Paris and had several town hall meetings to listen to them on what they wanted. They wanted better roads, they wanted sidewalks, they wanted jobs, they wanted improvements. You guys are doing a fantastic job with the sidewalk project. I went and looked at it today. Something like this brings business, jobs. Someone's going to eat at Subway, someone's going to go down the street. So there's a business proposition to this. And you guys kind of have a commitment, I believe, to follow through with some of those town halls and giving those people what they want. My dad was a veterinarian, and I understand it's a very difficult job to try to figure out what's wrong with your patient when they can't talk, when it's something you have to figure out. Dr. O'Brien is that guy. He's a great vet. He is also a great community member. He's sitting there in his Boy Scout uniform. He leads a troop. He volunteers on your commission boards, and he is involved in other nonprofits in town. He's the kind of guy we ought to be promoting in this community. So I hope that you will see fit to approve his rezoning because we need his project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Evelyn Walker. I live at 384 County Road 42520, Paris, Texas. I'm also the executive director of Tailored Rides Equine Assisted Services here in Paris, Texas. We operate a therapeutic riding center for people with special needs disabilities. We have a first responders and veterans program, and we also work with the Boys and Girls Club during the summertime. Because we have a therapeutic riding center, have a lot of horses. We need care for those horses, and Dr. O'Brien is the man who gives us the best care. We've used several of the veterinarians around the area. We currently have to take our horses to Clarksville or to Hugo, to Dr. Eastwood, if there is an emergency. I currently have 2 horses that Dr. O'Brien has recommended have some x-rays done and some sonogram type work done, MRI, and he does not have a facility to get it done in. So if I want to have my horses get the best care that they need so they can provide the people in our community with the services they deserve, we need an equine facility in town. If I have a horse colic, I cannot take an hour to drive to Clarksville, let alone get them loaded on the trailer and get them down there. We need every minute, and if I had a place 15 to 20 minutes away, it would save a horse's life. And these horses are doing great work out here. To speak to some of the concerns, the traffic, that is a main thoroughfare. Bonham, you come right off the loop there, and you come off of 82, drive right through. It is meant to handle traffic. The fly situation, again, I have currently 6 horses, and I manage the fly situation. I cannot imagine that a veterinary clinic would be inundated with flies. They're very clean, and there are things that you can use to help keep the fly population down. Same thing with the smells. We have plenty of horses at our place. We keep it clean. It does not smell. And we live in a neighborhood area. We have 5 acres, but everybody around us also has 5 acres, and we all manage. So I don't believe that some of the concerns are as valid as people are worried about. And we need to support new business in this town. I cannot stress how important it is to build and grow and bring more people in. And our population is growing, but there's not jobs. And without having, an equine place for all the people who come here and move here with horses, I'm sorry, I'm tearing up because my horses are the most important thing to me. And I'm rambling, so I'm sorry. Anyway, please support Dr. O'Brien. He is amazing at what he does, and we need more people like him in our community.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kelly Crow. I've been a registered nurse for 30 years. I'm now retired, and I've lived in this community like almost my entire life. I'm 63. I would like to speak on behalf of Dr. Bryan, and I also live at 1105 Northeast 35th Street. I started living there just because of my disability and family, but I've been on the west side most of the time. So Dr. O'Brien is my veterinarian, and I highly respect him. Not only that, but he has a very different personality, not like anyone I've ever dealt with. He got down on the floor next to my dog, first time meeting that dog, and it went beautiful. I just thought that he's a different type of guy. You know what I'm saying? And he's hilarious. He's funny. I would just like to say a few different odd things. I think that he's a very ethical man. Again, he's a Boy Scout leader. He's a veterinarian. How many people accomplish being a doctor, you know? He's lived in this community since 2014, so that's approximately 12 years. And on some other top issues, I don't want anyone to take this wrong, but on the west side, everybody is kind of dreadful of the west side, you know. We need business and we need professional. A professional person is going to add to the west side as far as any need, really. Just knowing that they're there and that they chose that part to build in and to help the community. But about 3 blocks south and 3 blocks west, there's an approximately 5-acre pasture. The man lets people come in campers. He has approximately 10 to 15 minimum livestock of cattle. He has goats and chickens, and he has a soccer team. It's Mr. Ibarra. He has a soccer team that plays on there. And he has construction guys coming and going, and they're dumping, they're putting all their stuff left over from their jobs and stuff out there. So I'm just saying that's only about 5 blocks from where he's wanting to be. And he's there to help people, to help animals and to help people. You know, my profession as a nurse, my goal was to be the best that I could be for my patients. And I just have a really good feeling about him from what I've seen from him. I would also like to mention, as far as some of the negative things on the west side, City Square with the homeless and the vagrant going back and forth and getting up in empty houses and doing graffiti. That's not fair to the west side. You know, I know they're there to help, but that's not fair to the west side. Also, I don't know if y'all know about this, but there's a place, there's the old shopping center where the bookstore is, okay? On the right-hand side used to be a car place where they, like painted them and things like that, did mechanic work. And then behind it is a hazard, because I have heard that they have old oil things in the ground back behind it, and I have heard that it actually seeps over to the neighbor's area. This is hearsay, but I heard it several years ago.
Ma'am, I'm sorry. If I would love, I think we all would love to hear that. So if you don't mind emailing us on these
Okay,
particulars.
that'll be fine.
I just want to keep it to the
Okay,
topic.
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
As far as the school bus pickup, I think it would be awesome. I mean, even if they could move it a block over, that shouldn't be a big deal, you know? I don't see that as the thing. And I feel like because he's a respectable man and a leader of the community, that he would be more than willing, especially after trying so hard to get approval here. I'm pretty sure he would be way more than willing to comply with all the expectations of the community. But we need the business. We need the look. I mean, so many people come in from that side of town, and it would just kind of be a perk to have to look over and see a brand-new building that a professional built. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to speak for or against this item?
Okay. First, my name's Carl Corwood. I live at 1705 Mansfield, and I had not planned on talking. I've been listening to everybody, and from my understanding is I've talked to Dr. Braun. I've known him for a long time. I actually was a Cub Scout leader under him, so I know Doc. And he's going to start small here and see how his practice goes. From my understanding, there's only 2 veterinarians in this whole county that work on horses. Dr. Kraft's facility is an older facility, and Doc is going to try to make a modern facility. I've heard all the things about, the flies and the traffic and everything. Doc, he takes care of my crazy Siamese cat. That cat loves Doc. My tortoise loves Doc. He didn't tell me about it very much because he's a tortoise, but he works hard at being a great vet and a great person. This would be a great facility for the west side or the east side or on the moon. Doc cares about animals, and from all the horse owners that I've been hearing say great things about Doc, we need something in town. Taking them to Antlers, taking them to Hugo, taking them to Clarksville, when we have a guy who will do it in town. That's a great thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I say one thing? He did tell my husband and the other neighbors that he would be treating horses, but they would not be there overnight. So, I was a little confused when everybody was talking about him treating their horses. How are you going to take care of a horse that's real sick and you're not going to keep them there overnight? So I did want to bring that up.
Thank you. For the purpose of this discussion, I just want to make sure we don't have any duplication. I just want to be fair here. So didn't want to get into a public discourse, but just want to be able to state your opinion and then move on. Please.
I think it'd be a great thing to have.
Thank you.
Good evening, City Council. My name is Alicia Claypool. I live at 234 County Road 45030 out in Powderly. I work for Dr. O'Brien. I have for the last 8 to 10 years. I'm here to talk on the behalf of what we go through at the clinic. Sorry. Dr. O'Brien is an amazing veterinarian. His specialty when he was going through vet school is equine, but he had to go down to small animal practice because of at the time, the need was not as needed. Now we are getting phone calls upon phone calls with people coming in from Dallas or people coming in from California. They're moving to the area. So we need to have a facility where we can take care of these horses. And horses are like dogs for some people. They're their babies. I know the trends so well, and they take care of their babies, and having to go 2 hours, and it being in a critical situation, you got to treat them. You got to be there. I do want to say on the behalf of one of the individuals bringing up, how are we going to take care of horses and them not staying overnight? We don't know what's going to happen. We're going to start off small. But our goal is for us to treat that animal and send it home. But there are times where we may have to keep it a day or two. The facility is going to be clean. If you've ever been into our clinic does not smell like any other vet clinic. It smells clean. And our facility will stay clean. For the one that has been brought up about us chopping up horses and burying them on the land, that is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Dr. O'Brien is the best veterinarian in Lamar County, in my opinion. He listens to the owner. He treats the patient because they don't talk to us. I love my job. I love what I do with him. And I want to help this community even more. And I'm telling you, we're getting the phone calls. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Yvette Norman. I used to live in Paris, but now I moved to 107 North Haven Lane, Knollwood, Texas. That is in the Grayson County area. I work for Dr. O'Brien. I've worked for him for a little, almost completely 6 years. We get, like Alicia was saying, we get inundated calls with horse emergencies, especially over the weekend, okay? We have nowhere to go on the weekend. The clinics that we have, the doc may need to go borrow for a facility to even do a dental float, is not open on the weekend. I've seen doc do time after time, 6 o'clock, we're closing. We normally close at 5. He's going out to go take care of a laceration on a horse or helping. He does this on his own time. You know, as a tech, I volunteer my time because I love working for Dr. O'Brien. I'm willing to work for free to help him out. That's how much of a veterinarian he's made an impact on me. I've never seen an individual with the capabilities and the emotions that he has with these animals. And when he can't treat these animals because of facilities, it breaks him. You know, it stresses him out because he doesn't know how to fix them, and we have to refer them out. We get a lot of calls that say, hey, we can't do this because we don't have the facilities, we don't have the time, so we need to refer you to this place. And that horse may not make it. He's very particular on our cleaning habits. We got here in the middle of y'all's meeting because we wanted to make sure that our clinic was thoroughly clean before we even walked into these doors tonight. So I don't know if that's what we got, but thought we really do need these to help these horses out. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
Hello again. My name is Richard Thompson, 3206 Bottom Street, right across the street from this. I'll give you a little background. I've served 5 years on the Buildings and Standards Commission here in the city. I volunteered the last 2 years on the Board of Adjustments, and I'm going again there. That's 7 years I've been involved up here. Anything that's built there, or approved or not, it's going to be all by code. There's going to be buffers. There's going to be inspections. This is not going to be a shabby place. And I usually don't throw stones and rocks, but if you asked earlier about 31st Street, that's the state of Texas doing sidewalks. It has nothing to do with construction on that lot. 31st Street, as a matter of fact, I can throw a rock from 31st Street and hit a round bale of hay with a burro and a donkey on it. So there's already animals in that area, big time. I don't know what else to say to you guys. It's a win-win. West side of Paris hadn't had a new building in 30 years. Last thing we knew there was Subway. It'd be nice to have a new building over there. Bring people in. You said it's main thoroughfare. Something's going to get built. Might as well be somebody local. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, good evening. The applicant here. I just wanted to clear up a couple things real quick that have been said. I think maybe there was some misremembering some statements, certainly a little bit of emotion brought in, which I appreciate passion, but sometimes that can be confused. Some things may have been representative of what I said to somebody individually or misremembered, and I wanted to clear that up. But there is no intent to build small animal practice. I simply said, as I've spoken with some of you, the way that the general retail permit with a special use permit for large animal, it allows for that to happen at some point. And that's simply what I said. It could allow for that, but that is not the intent or the design behind the application, nor have I discussed it with the city regarding that. The site plan doesn't include anything for that. So there is no intent. So I just want to make sure that that statement is put in context, that even though the special use permit allows for that, there's no intent for that. We have a facility now that we're getting ready to remodel and upgrade again, so there's no intent for that, okay? I can't speak to the snakes. We don't have any snakes over there. The shredder usually takes care of anything over, but there isn't any. There's chickens around there. If anywhere, they're over with the folks that have the chickens. Let me see them. There's some inconsistent statements that have been made. I think we kind of covered that. Something that's a little bit more personal, being in scouting and being the chairman for fundraising for scouting. Many of you participate in nonprofits here. You understand how hard it is to fundraise, and I think most of you would agree that in our fundraising efforts, it's our small businesses here that provide a lot of the support for our nonprofits. I'm one of those businesses, and I look to continue to give and expand the giving that I can give. And we can do that through expanding local small businesses. These are the ones that give back to our community, just like mine. So this will certainly help do that. The needs there and the income will come that will help support that. So that's really important. As far as the sidewalks go, I support Highway 19 construction, whatever they're doing, as they've been contracted by TxDOT. All of that stuff over there has been assured to me that's temporarily. It's on the easement. That's their easement. You can take it up with them. That they've told me that they're going to take care of it, but that does the sidewalks and certainly having a building that will be towards the front. It has to be towards the front because of the fire hydrant, so it has to be there. It will be towards the front near that closest fire hydrant. There are no other, so it'll be towards the front, just for the placement as it shows on the site plan, which you should have there, which I can also provide lighting and landscaping for the children there, especially during the daylight savings time when it gets dark there. So that's things we plan on doing. I support children a lot, so if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else? Okay, seeing none, we will go ahead and close the public hearing. Council, I want to go ahead and open up this discussion. And do we have any questions or any comments, any discussion that we want to have? I'd like to go ahead and entertain that now.
Well, I'd like to say something, if that's okay.
Yes,
I want to
sir.
address just a couple of things. First, this, well, I guess it does have something to do with this. Somebody made the statement that Paris is growing, but we don't have local jobs. Well, a healthy economy is 3.5 to 4.5% unemployment, and we're at 4 to 4.5 unemployment in Paris, Texas. So we do have a pretty healthy economy. I just wanted to get that straight, that we do have jobs. But secondly, it seemed like everybody that spoke today made the case that Dr. O'Brien does a great job. They made the case that there's a need for a facility like what he's asking for. But all the people that spoke today, and I'm sure everybody that wanted to speak against it is not here. Everybody who wanted to speak for it is not here. But everybody that spoke for it doesn't live in that area, except for one. And then everybody that spoke against it lives in the neighborhood. So that carries weight for me. And not saying that there's not a need for a facility like this. The case was well made that there is a need for a facility like this. But I just don't agree that the need is in that neighborhood. So that's just my opinion.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone else? I'll state this. I definitely think that this is a project that we definitely need. I've had a discussion with a lot of folks that have horses or that have an affinity and work with horses in general, whether they own it or work with them, what have you. Folks have complimented you quite a bit, Dr. O'Brien, in regards to the services you provide. And boy, the feedback that I've gotten in terms of kind of how crucial that time frame is to be seen it's pretty alarming. I didn't realize how much of an emergency we have here, where there aren't many areas to be able to go get seen unless if you have a mobile clinic or having to travel out. And so that could be really tough. I would be very honest with you. I would be remiss if I didn't say, hey, look, we've got some budgetary issues in this community. We all know it. Here, the last couple of years, we've kind of blared the alarms a little bit more than what we should, I feel like at times, or that we have. But this is the honest truth. This council will tell you the honest opinion and facts of what's going on in our community and what we're facing, the challenges that we face. It's no good in keeping that in. And so I am in support of this project. I am thirsty for development in this community. It's one more thing to add to our community that can help us to gain more tax revenue. Not just that, but we have, like some folks have kind of stated, there's a lot of folks that are moving to this area and this region that have a lot of horses and other animals. And I think that this is an area that we could really grow in our community. So for that reason, I want to just state that I'm in support of this, with respect to our neighbors and making sure that, hey, we play in the same sandbox. I do ask Dr. O'Brien and neighbors, please, if we can, if this passes, great. If it doesn't, hey, I hope that you guys are still able to work your way through this. But I do ask that, hey, if this does pass, please work together. I mean, that's what a community does. And if there's real, true concerns there, that we've got to work together. And that's the only way we're going to change this in this country, is to have good, open dialogue and discussion. Anyone else that wants to discuss this item? If not, I'll go ahead and open the floor for any motion.
I make a motion to approve the ordinance change in item number 9.
Okay, we have a motion. Do I hear a second? I'll make the motion, the second then. We got a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no.
No.
Okay, motion carries, just want to make sure, 3-2. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So motion carries 3-2. All right. We will now go ahead and move on to agenda item number 10, discuss and act on a resolution approving a development agreement with Lone Star Plan Developments, LLC, relating to the City of Paris, Texas, the City of Paris Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone Number 2, Forest Brook Boulevard. Before we start this, I know staff has asked that we table this item because we didn't receive all the information in accordance to time frame. So I'm asking that we go ahead and table this item to the next meeting, July 27th meeting. Do I hear a motion to table?
Make a motion.
We've got
To
a
table.
motion. Is there a second? Ms. Norman? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries 5-0. Agenda item number 11, discuss and act on a resolution approving a residential tax abatement and economic development agreement with R4U Ventures LLC as part of the 5 and 5 Housing Infill Redevelopment Program for Washington Heights Edition, Lot 2, Block 4, East Garrett Street, and Lot 13, Block 72-A, 606 East Grove Street. Mr. Almomensa?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is a regular 5 and 5 program, and the applicant R4U Ventures has been a good developer within the program. This time around, the applicant is coming for 2 single-family dwelling homes at those locations stated, and it has followed all the regulations, and a 30-day prior notice has been given. And also, this project value is estimated at $400,000, and staff has reviewed all the applications and all the required information needed, and we recommend approval with this project. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any discussion, Council? If not, I'll go ahead and hear a motion. Okay, we got a motion from Ms. Norman. Do I hear a second? second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries 5-0. All right, agenda item number 12, discuss and act on an ordinance amending chapter 12.05 of the Code of Ordinances related to fats, oils, grease, fog, also known as fog, grease interceptors, oil water separators, and sand oil separators and associated pretreatment requirements. Sir.
Mayor Pro Tem, members of council. What this proposed ordinance is just to kind of modernize our existing wastewater pretreatment regulations. The main purpose, or the intent of it, is to protect our new wastewater system that'll be getting all finished up here soon. And it's also to help reduce blockages and sanitary sewer overflows and protect the public health. The proposed ordinance incorporates industrial best practices, aligns with state regulatory expectations, and formalizes many of the procedures already being utilized by staff. The ordinance is intended to provide a proactive approach to wastewater system protection through education, routine maintenance, inspections, and compliance assistance, while also providing clear enforcement mechanisms when necessary. The summary of the proposed changes is fog control requirements, which is fats, oil, and grease, establishing the standards for that, separator requirements, existing facilities, and inspection and enforcement, so that we can get everybody back on track. Staff has developed a comprehensive fog reduction program manual here, and it's draft. We still got some other stuff to put into it there, but it will include annual licensing and registrations, routine inspections, educational outreach, maintenance tracking, violation correction procedures, and compliance assistance. Fiscal impact, short-term impact, demolition costs are expected to be minimum. We already have a lot of the fees and stuff already adopted in our ordinance. The long-term benefits is it's expected to reduce emergency sewer maintenance cost, reduce risk for sanitary sewer overflows, reduce risk for damage of wastewater infrastructure, improved operational efficiencies, improve regulatory compliance, and protect the city's multi-million-dollar wastewater treatment investment. So the businesses that will be impacted primarily are restaurant and food establishments, car washes, automobile repair facilities, fuel stations, anyone that's dealing with fats, oils, grease, sand, anything that we don't want in our wastewater treatment system. And like I said earlier, many of these are already best practices, and they should be doing them anyways. And staff recommends approval of the proposed ordinance, and if you had any questions, I would be willing, or hopefully can answer them for you.
Thank you, Mr. McGee. Any discussion on this item? Any questions or concerns? Okay, if not, we'll go ahead and hear a motion.
I'll make the motion that we approve the ordinance change to chapter 12.05 of the code ordinances.
All right, we got a motion.
A second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. Motion carries 5-0. We will go ahead and move on to agenda item number 13, receive and discuss the May financial reports. Mr. Marriott, how are you? Good evening, sir.
Try to get to the right slideshow here. Thing to work. Okay, good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. Tonight I'll be presenting the May financial reports that are in the packet. I'll start with general fund revenues, and I have to offer you an apology. I had my eyes dilated today, so I'm not seeing real well. So
just don't write any checks. We're good.
Okay, so overall, general fund revenues were 74% of the budget and grew by approximately $308,000 since last May. Year-to-date property tax collections were 95% of the budget and grew by $419,000 from last May. Sales and use tax revenues were 69% of the budget and grew by approximately $381,000 from last May. Hot taxes were 64% of the budget, but fell by $112,900 from last May. And probably the biggest fall is ambulance billings. They're 63% of the budget, but they're down by almost $700,000 from last May. So, general fund expenditures totaled $22.9 million, or 59% of the budget. This is an increase of almost $1 million, or 3.6% from last year. Salary and benefits expenditures are responsible for almost all of the increase. Decided to add a pie chart to this month's presentation, just kind of give you an idea how our expenditures break out. You'll see that the biggest area there, the blue area, is public safety. That is almost 61% of our budget. That includes police, fire, and EMS. So you can see that we do spend a lot of money on public safety. The second item would be general government, but that's just a large area of work. Yeah. So the next slide is general fund results. Currently, our cash and investments are adequate to cover about 338 days of expenditures, and at year end we expect that to fall to 236 days. Might be a little more than that, but it will continue to fall. Utility fund revenues, year-to-date revenues totaled $9.5 million, or 43% of the budget. This number is reduced by the transfers. You know, we've discussed before where we have transfers in and transfers out mixed. So that kind of skews those numbers. Without the transfers, total revenues would be approximately $13.9 million, or 62.5% of the budget. Utility fund expenditures totaled approximately $8.8 million, or 39% of the budget. Last May, expenditures had totaled approximately $100,000 more than they have this May. Airport fund revenues. The airport revenues totaled approximately $600,000. This is approximately a $45,000 decrease from last year's revenues through May. Reduced fuel sales are the biggest driver of the decrease. And ramp grant revenues also offset approximately 85% or 85,000 other decrease. Airport fund expenditures year-to-date are $591,000, or 51% of the budget. Expenditures are down by approximately $81,000 from last year, and the largest decrease in that, or the largest factor in that, is fuel purchases. Since our fuel sales are down, our fuel purchases are down as well. Next, I thought I would look at our staffing. The general fund had a total of 231 full-time employees at May 31st, 42 part-time employees, and 18 vacancies. The water fund has 68 full-time employees, 3 part-time employees, and 7 vacancies. And the airport fund had a total of 3 full-time employees and 5 part-time employees. I also thought I'd take some time to go through our investments briefly, just to do a more well-rounded presentation. Excluding the EDC, we had approximately $105 million in cash and investments at May 31st. These funds are broken out as into local government investment pools. That's 61% of our investments. Money market accounts, that's 32%. U.S. Treasuries are 4%, and U.S. agencies are 3%. And depending on the economy, you might see those treasuries and agencies go up. It's, right now you can get better rates on investment pools than you can those items, so that's why we don't have a lot of money tied up in them. Liquidity, we try to keep our liquidity in line with when we're going to need the cash. Right now, we're at 1 month or less is 70% of our liquidity, and 1 to 3 months is 10%. The city's target weighted average maturity is 730 days or less. Our weighted average maturity for May is 126 days, an 18-day decline from April. Once again, we could stretch our investments out, but right now there's no reason to. You can get just as good an interest on a short term as you can on long term, so that's why we're not investing money out far. The portfolio performance, the city had an average yield of 3.76%, which exceeds the benchmark average treasury yield of 3.68%. So that just demonstrates that we don't really need to put the money into the agencies and the treasuries because we're already making more money than we could if we did that. That concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions that anybody has.
Council, any questions? I had one. I can't seem to recall when we last did our budgetary deposit account bidding, so the bank that we use locally to do all of our deposits. When does that bid come back to renew again?
I think it's next year.
Got you. I think probably is it January or so, something like that.
I don't remember what month, Mr. Mayor.
Maybe if
I'm
we could
sorry.
look back at that. I just don't remember. It's been a while, and I want to say it's every 2 years, but I just want to
I believe it
double check.
could be 3.
3 years. Okay, it might be 3. I don't remember. And I wanted to highlight one thing that I saw, and this is after speaking with some of our first responders, but off of the staffing report, this is a miracle, but I'll tell you, I can't believe that we are just down one firefighter right now.
Yep.
We've caught up. That is awesome. I mean, just to see where we were
Yes.
at the beginning of the year to now, that is awesome.
I agree.
I'm baffled. So I just want to commend city staff and all, everyone that's working hard. Our first responders mean the world to us, and some of those are also our unsung heroes that go out and do a lot of the plumbing work, the backups, the sewer, all of this stuff. I mean, this is hard work, and I'll tell you, boy, I wish they could get paid more. I will tell you that, but we are proud of them and we appreciate them. But seeing that was huge, and to hear that fire's morale has gone back up, which is great. I want to keep that trend going. Along with EMS, I would love to understand more on the EMS front. I don't think that there's any openings, but I just wanted to make sure. Is that correct?
Not right now, there are not.
That's great.
I mean, we have PRN always, so if anybody wants to come work for us, PRN.
I'm sure we could always use help, but
Yeah.
that is a great turnaround for those departments.
Are we back doing transfers with the EMS? So there's another service here in town. Are they just at the discretionary call of who calls, or how's that handled?
That would be from what I understand, but we would definitely have to ask, because I have seen them around some too. So I do know that if we have too many and we can't get to them, they can call them in. But we could find out more details on it.
Yeah, that's a good question, and I'm glad you asked that because we started that back up not too long ago, right? It's been a couple months now, I believe, maybe like 2 months or so, but that's fantastic to have those outbound transfers. That's our revenue driver right there for that EMS department, so.
It is.
Well, good, I just wanted to highlight that for the record and just tell folks, hey, look, this is awesome. This is good news, so. All right. Thank you. All right, we will now move on to agenda item number 14, convene an executive session pursuant to section 551.072 of the Texas Government Code to deliberate the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property if deliberation in an open meeting would have a detrimental effect on the position of the governmental body in negotiations with with a third person. The time is 6:37 PM, and the City Council will convene in executive session.
Yeah?
We can reconvene.
Okay, we have to reconvene. I'm sorry. We haven't convened anyway.
Well, we
so
haven't,
can just go
we
back.
haven't convened,
haven't
so we'll
even-
just go back and.
Okay.
All right, the time is 7:18 PM and the city council is now in open session. There's no action to be taken. So we will go ahead and move on to agenda item number 16. Consider and approve future events for the city council and/or city staff pursuant to resolution number 2004-081. Councilor, do you have anything? All right.
Just want to remind you, go ahead.
I would like to make sure that we are going quickly forward with the donation box situation.
Absolutely, I echo that.
I've already spoken to Rose about that, but I just want to go on record. Can't wait to hear those things.
Anyone else?
I wanted to remind you of your meetings next week, the 20th and the 22nd, both special meetings. Y'all send the agendas out tomorrow.
Could we make sure to reach out to Miss Williams, Miss Carolyn Williams, that was here during the,
MA took her card.
perfect. I just want to make sure.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. If there's nothing else, then we'll go ahead and move to agenda item number 17, adjournment. I will ask for a motion.
So move.
And a second?
Second.
Second. Motion and second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, we are adjourned.